1 in 6 older Australians, that is over 45, experience reflux. And with me today is Hayden Keys, who's going to explain to us a little bit about it. Welcome, Hayden.
Thank you, Delmy.
So what is reflux?
Well, reflux is when the acids in our stomach get squished up into our windpipe and start to burn it.
And what causes that?
Well, the general medical explanation is that there's too much acid in the stomach. And so what they look at doing is just reducing down that acid to stop the burning. But from a naturopathic point of view, we think it's more to do with food causing spasm in the stomach, which then pushes food up and acids up into the esophagus, burning it.
So what can we do to prevent it?
Well, the first thing we want to do is, first of all, consider a lot of the conventional medications that people are taking, because they're actually worsening the problem.
How is that?
So the drugs that a lot of people are given reduce stomach acid, but that causes a problem in that the person then has a lot of difficulty digesting their food, which then sets up other problems further down the track. Taking a natural approach, what we want to do is look at reducing the foods that might be causing the spasm to start with, and that might be things like our grains. Now, while we've been eating grains for a long time, really grains are for the birds, and they often irritate our digestive system. But then we can help with other things like using chamomile and peppermint, which are natural antispasmodics.
Okay, so when you talk about digestive, what is that a major concern for people, or is it just a minor issue that goes away easily?
A lot of people do have digestive problems, so besides the reflux, they might be having irritable bowel. And so again, the grains that people are eating can be irritating their digestive system and causing that spasm that they get in the stomach and the wind that comes along with that. But if anyone's having either reflux or irritable bowel syndrome, then they're not digesting their food properly and they're not getting all the nutrients they can out of it, which can then lead to low energy levels and even sometimes allergies and things like that.
So it can actually lead into more serious diseases, is that right?
Yeah, definitely, because our digestion is where we get all our nutrients from. So if we're not digesting properly, then we're going to start lacking nutrients over time, and then other diseases are going to result from that.
So you talked about the irritable bowel. What causes that? Is that the wheat and the grains only, or?
They're a main part of it, but also there can be an imbalance between the good and the bad bacteria that we naturally have in our gut. And I'm sure a lot of people have heard more about that over the years.
So besides cutting out the grains, what else can we do?
Well, we can look at rebalancing the good and the bad bacteria in our system. And most people have become familiar with the good and the bad bacteria from yogurts and the cultures that are in those.
So what are 3 simple things that we can do to eliminate this?
Well, the first would be just to cut out our grains. And I've seen many great examples that when people do that, basically the reflux and the irritable bowel disappear overnight. The second thing is balance the good and the bad bacteria.
Okay.
So maybe use some herbs that get rid of the bad guys and then reintroduce the good guys with some yogurt or a probiotic itself. And the third thing is just getting some digestive enzymes which just assist our own digestive processes.
Once again, Hayden, some really good advice. And if you're looking for more tips, go to healthyremedies.com.au.